Okay, more participant. Only 13 people in the class. We have to wait a few minutes later and let us see if some more people gets in. Just wait, just wait. Okay, students, good morning to all. Now, few instructions, as this is your first class, I think, and even if it is not the first class, those who may be new in the class, so if you'd be remain muted, means none of you can speak in my class. If you want to speak, then you need to touch your screen, and at the bottom of the screen you can find more. From more you can raise your hand. There is a symbol like this, raise your hand. So you can raise the hand from there. I'll allow you to speak to the class. Understood? If anyone have any doubt or you want to talk to me directly, you need to touch the screen, and from at the bottom of the screen there is more. From there you can raise your hand from the more section. Okay, now let us start the class, and I think your first chapter is what is the first chapter actually is hardware and software, isn't it? So we need to talk about the hardware and software. Okay, let me get the book. Yes. Yes, here it is. Computer hardware and components. Now, what does a computer consist of? What does a computer consist of? A computer consists of basically it consists of two things. One is hardware, another one is software. Now, what is hardware is the physical components that those we can touch, and it occupies some space, not virtual space, physical space, that occupies some physical space. Virtual space means the space which does not actually exist, but it can be occupied. For example, when you take a picture in your phone, the picture occupies some space, but that is not physical space, it is a virtual space. So we are talking about the physical space here. In hardware are the physical components that occupy space, we can touch and feel them. This is hardware. And what is software? Software are the set of programs that those perform some task. Softwares are the set of programs those perform some task. It may be specific or it may be different, so non-specific type. Sometimes what happens, some softwares you don't know what they actually do, but they are also equally important for your computer system. So let us talk about them. So first of all, in this chapter we are going to talk about the hardwares. Now when we talk about hardwares, there may be hardwares which may be internal and which may be external. Now comes about the internal hardwares. When we talk about the internal hardwares, Internal hardwares means the hardwares those are placed inside the CPU box. Now some may be confused, sir, CPU box, what is that? Actually, if you had seen the desktop, you can observe there is a box at the side of the monitor. It may be standing, it may be lying, or sometimes the monitor may be placed over the box. So it consists of a box. Now what about the laptops? When you talk about the laptops, the screen that opens is the monitor, and at the bottom of the bottom portion you can see a number of devices are there. You may have seen them. The keyboard is there, the mouse is there, and below that there is a number of devices placed. Those we cannot open and see them. So those devices or hardwares we are talking about are the internal hardwares. Now what is the most important component of the internal hardware is the most important component of internal hardware is the motherboard. Now what is a motherboard is, now how does the motherboard looks like? Let me show you the motherboard. Yes. Now you can see my screen. What I am doing on the computer, you can see. Okay. Now these are the pictures of motherboard. I am zooming out so that you can see them clearly. I'm zooming them out. Here you can see. Yeah, let it be zoomed out. Yes. Sight. This is the motherboard. Now in the motherboard you can see there are many components included. Many things are there. Now every component is very important, and among the whole assembly is the motherboard. Okay, now you can see on the motherboard there are something over here, the connectors. You can recognize this one, the three blue ones and one white one. These are the USB. You can see the slots over here, the blank spaces. We can connect something over here. You can see a lot of connectors over here. These are the places where we can place the connect. This is the connector, and this is the place where what? Recognize? No, the CPU is placed. This is where the CPU is placed. You can see these two blue and two white slots. These are the places where RAM can be placed. RAM. And you can say, observe over here. Let me see if I can draw something on the screen. Yeah, color, I choose red and draw. Okay, now see here, this is the place. You can see I am drawing with the red color. This is the place where you places the RAMs. This is CPU, and all this from here to here these are the expansion slots. Means we can place some other components here that can enhance the capacity of the computer. Now see, other things I am going to show you. these are the USBs, all four are USB, and here this is the port to connect your audio jack. This may be the LAN port, means you need to connect the LAN, or it is the audio. You can see light orange and a blue socket is there. This is the audio. Then these are the other ports, means all the external devices we connect on the around here, and these are the USB ports. This is the place where we place the RAM chips. Okay, now you have seen one people is waiting outside. Yes, so I'm going to stop the screen. Yeah, now all of you have seen how the motherboard looks like and what are the important components there on the motherboard. Now, what does a motherboard consist of? The motherboard basically consists of the components. I'm going to share the screen with you and show you. If you have the book with you, you can see one by one. I'm showing the components to you. The first one is the processor chip. As I said you, this is the place where you can put the processor. This is the place where you can put the processor. Then comes the memory chips. You can see the BIOS. This is the BIOS. See here. I'm drawing around it. This is the BIOS chip. BIOS is in the form of a small chip, a very small chip. We say them chip, integrated ICs. And then comes the memory chips. We can include the memory chip. It may be over here. And beside that, the memories are here. These all are, we need to connect the RAM, and these can also be your memory locations. Okay, now the fourth one is the external controller for videos and audios. For audio video, you don't need, nowadays we don't need the external controllers, they are already over here. This is the audio, and hopefully any of these two is the video, so it is inbuilt. It is, now if we take the scene of another motherboard, this is one motherboard I had shown you. I'm going to stop annotation and let me clear all. Okay, now let us see the another motherboard which can show you clearly. Here it is, one more. I'm zooming out. See here, this is the, okay, the CPU, the memory chip, the ROM, or what we say, the BIOS, the video controller, the audio controller, and the expansion slots. These are the, along with this one also is the expansion slots. All four are the expansion slots. You can see the RAM placed over here. This is the RAM. Now these are not the expansion slots, these are the locations where we connect different wires for power. We need to supply the wires for power, or to connect different components we need to connect these things here. Here is another slot where we put the power supply of the computer actually. Okay, now done. So clear all terrain and stop. Yes, Prince, you have the raised hand. Unmute and talk, Prince. Prince ji. No. Okay, you.
So where is the hard disk?
Hard disk is not shown yet, man. Hard disk is not the internal device, it is an external device. We are talking only about the internal devices. Therefore, you cannot see the hard disk on there on the motherboard. Okay? Understood?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Mute
Yes,
yourself.
sir.
Mute yourself. Okay. This is Ankit Gupta. Yes, Ankit. You unmute and talk.
Sir, what is memory chip?
Memory chip, I just shown you. Once again I am showing you what is the memory chip is. See here. I made mistake. Yeah, just showing you up what is the memory chip. See here, this is the memory chip. Now what happens with the memory chip is it need to store some programs. Memory chip, see here, I had rounded up two sections. Okay, these two sections we can say about the memory chips. Now what is the use of memory chip is it actually stores programs for different purposes. Now what is the purpose? I'll be coming to every section and discuss about them. Okay, now let us stop the sharing and come back to the class. Avinav, once again. Yeah, Avinav Kumar.
Sir, where is graphic card?
Graphic card you cannot see, man. I had tried to show you. You cannot see the graphic card in any of the. Someone is talking behind. See here. See here. This is the place where you can put the graphic or external monitor you can connect here, and this is the section where the graphic is inbuilt in the motherboard. We don't have a separate graphic card nowadays. You can observe that computer you buy, the desktop, the laptop, already there are graphic cards. So you need not to buy a graphic card separately. Still, when we come to the different sections, I'll show you where is the graphic, how the graphic card looks like. Okay.
Sir, what is SMPS? Yes, sir.
SMPS. From where did you get that question? It is not. I have never told you about it.
Sir,
Yeah, say it. SMPS is the power supply of the computer system. Yet the SMPS is the power supply of the computer system. If you have a desktop at home, you can see from you can observe from behind hot air comes out. Fan. The hot air comes out from
Yes.
behind. That if you had opened it, there is a small box placed inside the CPU box. That is the SMPS. SMPS is the device which is responsible for supplying power to all the components to your computer system. Okay.
okay, sir.
Okay, mute yourself. Okay then. Now, do anybody have any other doubt? You can raise your hand. Avinav, you had your answer. Question is answered. Yes, one more is Ankit Gupta. Yes, Ankit, unmute and talk.
Sir,
Hmm.
sir, what is graphics card and what is its uses?
Graphics card is used to show the video on screen. Graphic card is the device which displays the video on screen. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, mute yourself. And Samriddhi Swarup. Samriddhi, you are in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So what is bias?
Bias. Bias is a
Yes.
bias is in the form of chip, but it stores. Uh, just just wait. Switching on. Uh, yeah, show you where is the BIOS actually is. Here. This is the BIOS. What we talk about, say about BIOS, it is here. Okay, you can observe it is in the form of a chip. It is in the form of a chip. Now what does it do? It actually stores the program to load the operating system to the computer's main memory and creates the platform to between the user and the hardware, so that the user can use the hardware. Samriddhi, can you please turn off your mic?
Yes.
Ah, now one more. There is Mahi Kashyap. Mm, Mahi, you want to ask a question? Unmute and talk.
Sir, how the motherboard works?
No, my dear student, the motherboard works a lot of things. Motherboard actually doesn't do some specific task. It holds all the components required to run the computer system. Motherboard itself do not do any work. Motherboard just holds all the components required to run the computer system. Understood? Okay, anyone else have any doubt? Mahi, your doubt is clear? Yeah, lower your hand then. Okay. Now let's talk about the internal parts. Now stop sharing. The internal parts of the computer. Now, when we talk about the internal parts of the computer, the first one is the PCI devices. Now, what are the PCI devices? I'll show you the picture of PCIs now. PCI cards. Just a second, give me a second, my laptop has gone insane. It is oh. PCI card. Yeah, I'm going to share the screen again and show you how the PCI card looks like. See here, all those are PCI cards. Whatever you can see on my screen, all those are PCI cards. Now, where the PCI cards are placed? The question is, sir, where these cards are placed? I'll show you back. I'm going to take you, see here, I'm taking any of the picture, this one. Here is the place you can observe. The two white spaces over here. This is the place where the PCI card can be placed. Oh. Show you the picture of PCI card again. PCI cards. Yeah. See, all those are called PCIs. Now, what are these PCIs are meant for? You can see different card, different size and shape of card. Obviously, they perform different functions. obviously they perform different functions. Now see, here is a card with an antenna, here is a card with an antenna. These cards are for enhancing the capability of your computer system desktop to receive wireless signals, Wi-Fi signals. This here one, you can see there is a port. This is the LAN card. We say it LAN card, local area network card. Okay, now here is a card. You can see this card is to enhance or include the parallel port in your computer system. Nowadays parallel ports are not available, so they include the parallel ports. The Wi-Fi, you can see the D-Link. This is the Wi-Fi card. Now this is also a Wi-Fi card, two-way. One is transmission, another one is receiving. This is parallel port again. So you can observe there are various types of cards. These various types of cards can be placed so that the capability of your computer can be increased. Okay, now next is sound card. What is the function of sound card? Sound card can attach, or the sound card is a device which can be used to produce or input sound to the computer system. Now what happens sometimes, we are not happy with the kind of sound we are receiving from our normal computer. So what happens, we want to enhance the sound capability or increases the capability of the sound. We can include a better sound card to enhance the sound capacity of our computer system. Next is video card. Obviously you can understand the video card, it will enhances the video capacity of your computer system. Then comes CPU. Now what is CPU? I think we had discussed about them in the previous class. If so, still we are revising then. CPU is the main component of the computer which is responsible for all the processing work, whatever kind of work is done on the computer, only the CPU performs them. CPU is responsible to complete those operations. Now when we talk about CPU consists of three components: ALU, MU and CU. ALU, arithmetic logic unit. This component of the CPU is responsible for all the calculations, whether it is mathematical calculation or it is logical calculations. Now comes what is logical calculation is. Logical calculation means taking decisions. We know that computer is a smart device, and why it is smart? Because it can take decisions. Now to take decisions, logical unit works, and to perform mathematical calculations, arithmetical unit works, and both of them together makes ALU, arithmetic logic unit. Second is MU, memory unit. Now when we talk about the memory unit of the CPU, it is not a device. That memory we cannot use. Only the CPU manages that. Now what is the function of that memory is, all the instructions and the informations, means data, required by the CPU for performing a task, it is stored temporarily in that particular memory portion. It is very small in size, very small, maybe of 2 MB or 3 MB or even lesser than that. Yes, Samriddhi, I saw your hand raised. let me give her the chance to talk. Yeah, Samriddhi.
Sir, what is data bus and address bus?
Okay, data bus is the connectors or the wires that carry the data, okay, from your input devices or from the processor to the output device or the memory device which carries the information or data. We say them data bus, the wires. And you had asked about address bus. Address bus are the wires or the connectors that carry the address of different locations, memory locations or device locations. When we talk about bus, here bus means not a convey vehicle that can on which you can travel. Bus here means the wires. Okay. Any other doubt?
No, sir.
Okay then. Uh, yeah. We have only 5 minutes in the class remaining. So in these 5 minutes, let us complete the component of CPU. So CPU, when we talk about, those are the memory units, the arithmetic logic units, and last one is the control unit. Now what is the control unit is? Control unit is responsible for proper conveyance of the data, information and output. Means the incoming instructions, the incoming data, it controls, as well as after processing it controls the outgoing data. Now what happens, all the data after processing doesn't go to the output screen. It doesn't go to the output screen. Some of the data may needed to go to the secondary memory devices. So depending upon the requirement, the control unit manages those data and instructions. Okay, now that next is RAM, random access memory. Random access memory is in the form of chip. Let me search for the picture of RAM. Yeah, I'm going to show you the pictures of RAM. Share screen. Here you can see the pictures of RAM. These are RAMs. These are the primary memory. Here you can see these are the primary memories. They can be placed on the memory slot or RAM slot on the motherboard. Okay. And what is the function of RAM is? RAM actually stores the instructions and the data and the informations temporarily. It is a temporary memory device. Now once the work of the computer, once the computer is switched off, the memory whatever is stored in RAM gets cleared up. Now there may be different types of RAMs. Nowadays most commonly used is DDR RAMs. Previously there may be SD RAM. Now RAMs, they are classified into two. One is static RAM, another one is dynamic RAM. Okay, that's all for today's class, and the class may get over at any moment. So if you have any doubt, you can start asking now. Yes, Prince first. Talk, Prince.
So what is static RAM and dynamic RAM?
Static RAM and dynamic RAM is the kinds of RAM. Now in static RAM what happens, the memory is stored previously or prior to the execution of the program, whereas in dynamic RAM the content of the RAM can be changed while the computer is working. Now comes Ankit Gupta. Ankit.
Sir, what is the work of the RAM?
RAM. I said you RAM stores all the data, instruction, information, or whatever the current work you are doing on the computer. It is stored in RAM. Okay, now Shaurya Kumar. Shaurya.
Sir, what is the function of ROM?
ROM. ROM is the device that stores the instructions to load the operating system to the memory and creates the platform between the user and the hardware. Okay, now Samriddhi again. Yes, Samriddhi.
So what is megahertz and control unit?
Megahertz, it is the unit of frequency. It is the unit of frequency. Frequency means the rate of vibration of a body. Means in 1 second how many times a body is vibrating. You know the meaning of vibrating? Like this. This is
Yes, sir.
vibration. So what the number of times a body is vibrating per second is measured in hertz. Megahertz means 1000 into 1000 hertz, means 6 zeros followed in a hertz. And another one you asked?
Control unit.
Control unit is the unit or which is the component of CPU that controls the incoming and outgoing of the data. Incoming and outgoing of the data is controlled by the control unit, as well as it can. Yes, Abhinav, if you want to speak.
Sir, what is the difference between RAM and ROM?
RAM and ROM both are of
Yes.
primary type. Both the memories are of primary type. But what happens? The instructions stored in the ROM cannot be erased. The instructions stored in ROM it cannot be erased. Means although both RAM and ROM both are of primary type, but ROM is of permanent type, whereas the instructions and the informations those are stored in RAM, they can be deleted as soon as the power of the computer goes off. Okay,
Yes, sir.
any other doubt you
Sir,
have?
how many RAM?
How many?
Sir, how many RAM are placed in a motherboard?
On a motherboard you can place maximum of 2, maximum 2, not more than that.
Maximum 2.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Samriddhi, yes Samriddhi, unmute and talk.
So what is control unit?
Hey, I said you know, control unit is the part of the CPU that controls the processing, all the operations that a computer performs. Means whatever operation the computer performs, everything is controlled by the control unit, which is a part of the CPU. Yeah. Anything
Okay.
else? Anything else?
No, no sir.
Okay. Uh, yes, Pragati, you want to talk? No. Pragati, you want to ask your doubt? Then unmute and ask. No. Yes. Hello. You had muted yourself. Yes, Pragati, if you have problem, you can ask.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, what is the use of RAM and ROM?
RAM and ROM. ROM, just now I said, explained some Avinav Kumar, I think, that ROM is a memory that stores the instructions which to load the operating system to the main memory and creates a platform between the user and the hardware. Means I'm trying to explain it. You may not be getting it properly. हिंदी में बता रहा है कि कंप्यूटर हार्डवेयर मत जैसे मान के चलो माउस कीबोर्ड को कंप्यूटर के साथ जोड़ने से ही काम नहीं ना करेगा, उसके लिए कुछ तो चाहिए, कुछ जगह चाहिए जहाँ पे खड़ा होकर के वो अपना काम करेगा, उसको बनाता है ROM. It only starts the computer, loads the operating system to the memory, creates the platform for the hardware and the user, and then its work is done. That is the function of ROM. Now RAM, it stores all the works. Very clearly, a user cannot access any memory device except RAM. हम लोग को जितने भी काम करना होता है, whatever work we do, all the work we do on RAM only. So you can understand, RAM is the memory which is responsible to store all your work, and it is of temporary type. Once the power supply is switched off, the RAM automatically gets cleared up. Whatever is stored in the RAM, it is cleared once the power is switched off. Anything else? Anyone?
Sir, can I?
हाँ
Sir,
हाँ
sir, if we will close the computer direct to UPS and switch, sir, what happens?
same thing. You all the RAM will be get cleared and you will lose all the work what you had done. Whatever work you had done, you will lose that work.
Sir, if we will save the work and again on the computer, then it will be on my system only.
It will be on your system because you had saved the work on the secondary storage device. You cannot save anything on the RAM. You need to save it on the secondary storage devices, say the hard disk, the pen drive, the CD drive, or any other such drives. Okay.
Okay.
Clear it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Samriddhi. Samriddhi.
So what is Pentium processor?
My goodness, that is Pentium processor. Pentium actually is a kind of is the name of the processor developed by Intel Corporation. It doesn't mean it is just the name of the processor.
But what it is used for, sir?
A microprocessor, all the whatever. Still now we are discussing about CPU, isn't it?
Yes.
Aren't we talking about CPU?
Yes, sir.
That CPU is the microprocessor. Microprocessor is not anything different. The CPU itself is called microprocessor, and it contains of 3 different sections. Now what happens, the microprocessor is being developed by different companies. For computers, most of the microprocessors are produced by Intel, and one of the name is Pentium. The another name may be Celeron. That also is being produced by Intel Corporation. Pentium is just the name of the processor. Now, like nowadays, we know the processors by i3, i7, or i5, like this, isn't it? It's just the name.
Yes, sir.
It's just the name of the processor. Okay. Any other doubt?
No, sir.
Okay then.
No, sir.
Okay then. We are closing. Have a nice day.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank